Hello, this is Jeremy Wilkie. I wanted to give you the second part of the triple adjuster video. So, I guess kind of elaborating. So, in the first part I showed you about the cab, and then I said we were going to talk about what MX Tech was doing. And a little background information. I've always enjoyed the Enzo Racing subvalve style compression adjusters for the cab shocks, and that led for an opportunity to design and build an Enzo style adjuster for the Showa shocks, which we're now proud to be part of with Ross. And then as part of that, I wanted to do my own interpretation of it for the WP, but I wanted to look for ways of improving it. And at the time I started working on this, the cab design actually hadn't been released, but I had somewhat of an idea how the whole system worked, and I thought I'd like to do something like this for the WP. And so here we are. Now, unfortunately, the cab design, as we know, maybe is a little lacking. I wanted to kind of fill in the details, and produce something that was going to work better and offer improved functionality, and that's always my goal. So down here at the bottom, I've got the MX Tech hardware and the MX Tech triple adjuster. So what's a subvalve style high-speed compression adjustment? Well, very simply, okay, we're going to use a traditional valve that basically is metered in both directions. We used to think that was a bad idea on the return circuit, but what we've actually learned, of course, is that by regulating the return, you can really kind of calm down the rear suspension. It definitely adds to the rebound. And, you see that in both the settings that you would use with one of these style adjusters. In other words, the main piston, the rebound valving is going to change. Your adjuster settings can change. So I think the cab engineers realized that they had an opportunity to do some development testing with that, and they have. And the interesting thing is as long as it's not excessive, the shock doesn't have any cavitational or pressure balance issues or anything like that. Of course, you could design something that would, but again, used in the correct way, it gives you a degree of control that you couldn't otherwise have. Now, our part is really complex. It's going to be pretty hard for me to show all these things, but some of you may have noticed the Facebook post that we had with the little check valve. There it is. Here's the low-speed adjuster needle that is now essentially working as a high-speed. That's the one in the middle. Because what we're doing is, instead of preloading a gate or putting tension on the shims, we're actually diverting pressure through a subvalve mechanism, on the compression tab. I'll show you right there. You can't see it, unfortunately, because of the black, but again, it's a subvalve style. And so what we're going to do is we're going to allow a percentage of that pressure to bypass the main valve and be regulated by the subvalve stack, okay, which is considerably softer than the main stack. And we do that, via the control of that needle. Now, then we have another spring and detent needle, and these are both the same. That is going to regulate the low-speed compression or the bypass. Okay, and what we're doing there is we're literally just letting it, free flow past the whole valving mechanism, and that's where we get our, low-speed compression. With our original concept, we use the same needle, basically with that check valve, that communicates through the side of the compression adjuster, and there's all kinds of little pieces and threads and so on in this thing to get everything that we need in there. That's actually sealed off, and that's feeding one of our circuits through the valve. Now, I've been testing this for some time, and overall I really like the improvement that this adjuster provides to the WP shock. What I've been struggling with, however, is the same issue that basically the cab adjuster has, and that is the rebound adjustment mechanism. The resolution is pretty poor. While better than, I think, the cab, and that you can tell the difference, it's just not offering the kind of click-to-click resolution that I would think would justify the cost of adding that third adjuster. Once I had a chance to study that cab design, which I showed you in the previous video, which is up here at the top, it occurred to me that doing a bleed adjust, the way I was doing it with this little micro check valve, was the problem. So I've now, and by incredible stroke of luck, I have room, and I was able to source a spring that's significantly stiffer than the Caba one, and we can literally adjust from the check valve basically just lifting or just moving to essentially fully restricted, thereby putting a increasing percentage of fluid through this return circuit on the rebound. This looks really promising on the dyno, and I'm actually going to get to try it this weekend on the track, weather permitting. Here we're potentially going to get snowed in, but if that doesn't happen, we're heading out to our local sand track. But again, I think this latest design offers some promise. This is really interesting stuff. Again, this is being done in collaboration with Ross Maeda and Enzo, and I'm really excited about that prospect, and having the opportunity to bring something really cool to the WP and the Showa shocks. Using his subvalve style high-speed compression adjuster. So now we're just proving it out and seeing if we can add some functionality that otherwise wouldn't be available. So thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to keep you guys posted. I know there's a lot to think about on this one. It's pretty complex parts. Thanks for watching.